Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Balaji. This video is the part 2 of AWS EBS Masterclass series. If you didn't see the first video, please go and check it out. I have mentioned the link of the first video in the description. Let's dive into the session. In today's video, we will see about EBS snapshots. EBS snapshots are simple and secure way to protect our block storage data. Using EBS snapshots, we can take snapshots of EBS volumes, boot volumes, and also our on-premises block data. Snapshot helps to capture consistent state of the data, which means it supports point-in-time backups. Whenever a snapshot is created, the data is automatically saved to Amazon S3 for long-term retention. On the security part, snapshots can be encrypted and it also can be restricted from public access. You may have a question, why we need EBS snapshots? Let's look at it now. EBS snapshots are a powerful way to back up your data. They are not just for storage. They help with disaster recovery, cross-region replication, and even meeting compliance needs. That means if something goes wrong with your EC2 instance, you can quickly restore your data and get back up and running. One of the coolest things about EBS Snapshot is that they use incremental storage. Instead of making it full copies every time, they only store the changed blocks. This reduces cost significantly while still keeping your data safe. We cannot go and manually create snapshots every day. That's why AWS provides a service called Data Lifecycle Manager. It allows us to automate snapshot creation and snapshot retention and deletion policies. This means our backups happen on schedule and old snapshots get deleted automatically based on our policy settings. EBS snapshots are stored in Amazon S3. It offers level 9s of durability. In simple terms, our data is incredibly safe. Plus, AWS even has an EBS recycle bin. So, if we delete a snapshot accidentally, we can recover it within a set retention period. So, in short, EBS snapshots provide a cost efficient, automated, and highly durable way to back up our EC2 volumes. Whether we are thinking about disaster recovery or just need a simple backup solution, EC2 snapshot are a must use feature in AWS. Now you may have a question, how EBS works. Let's go and see it in a diagrammatic way. Let's look at how EBS snapshots work in a diagrammatic way. Imagine we have a EBS volume in AWS. It has some important data and we want to create backup out of the volume. So we can use either AWS console, AWS CLI or AWS SDK, or we can also automate the creation using AWS Lifecycle Manager. We can create the snapshot out of the existing volume. Under the hood, AWS saves the snapshot in a S3. Once the snapshot has been created, we can use that snapshot to restore the volume. Once the volume has been restored, we can attach it to a EC2 machine and we can use the volume and also the data that underlies in it. This is a simple diagrammatic overview of how snapshot lifecycle is. Now let's take a look at EBS snapshot archives. In EBS snapshot, there are two tiers, standard tier and an archive tier. When we initially take a EBS snapshot, it is automatically stored in standard tier. It is a default tier. Once the snapshot has been created, we can move the snapshot from standard tier to archive tier. AWS usually recommends archive tier for old or infrequently accessed snapshots. By moving the EBS snapshots from standard tier to archive tier, we can save cost by 75%. Let's see the EBS snapshot archive in a diagrammatic way. This is a simple diagrammatic representation of EBS snapshot archive. Imagine you have a volume. When you initially take a snapshot of the volume, the snapshot will be in standard tier. If you feel the snapshot will be less frequently accessed, you can move that snapshot from standard tier to archive tier. AWS usually recommends ArchiveTire for monthly and yearly backup snapshots. There is an important point to be noted. When you move a snapshot from standard tire to ArchiveTire, the minimum retention period is 90 days, which is the snapshot must be present in the ArchiveTire for at least 90 days. But AWS also provide the option to switch from ArchiveTire to standard tire, either permanently or temporarily. If you do the switch from ArchiveTire to standard tire within 90 days, you need to incur the same charges, or else you will be charged on a pro rata basis. Let's see how we can restore our ArchiveTire to standard tire. AWS provide us option to switch from ArchiveTire to standard tire. But unlike the standard tire, when you do the restoration from ArchiveTire to standard tire, it will take 24 to 72 hours. Also, a point to be noted is when a snapshot is in ArchiveTire, you must switch it to standard tire so that you can use it and you can create a volume out of it. This is a simple overview of EBS Snapshot Archive. Let's see the pricing comparison. For a standard tire, the storage fee is $0.05 per GB per month. For a Achieve tire, the storage fee is $0.0125 per GB per month. If you see, we are almost saving 75% of our cost when we are choosing Achieve tire. When we look at the retrieval fee, for a standard snapshot, the retrieval fee is 0. For Archive snapshot tire, when we retrieve it from Archive snapshot tire to standard snapshot tire, we need to provide AWS $0.03 per GB of data. Now let's look at Amazon Data Lifecycle Manager for EBS Snapshot. It is a simple automated way to backup data stored on EBS volumes. It helps us to create, delete, and retain snapshots on a custom schedule. Data Lifecycle Manager is a cost efficient way to clean up our old snapshots. We can use tags to manage Amazon Data Lifecycle Manager backup policies. Also, we can monitor the policies with CloudWatch events. Now let's take a look at how we can enhance the security and performance of our EBS volumes. As we have already discussed, we can encrypt our EBS volumes using AWS KMS keys. Thereby, we can secure our EBS data both at rest and transit. We can also implement IAM based access control to protect our EBS volumes. On the performance aspect, AWS has EBS optimized instances. They have dedicated bandwidth between EC2 and EBS. They ensure maximum provisioned IOPS for EBS volumes. They also help to minimize IO contention for better performance. A point to be noted is EBS optimized instances are available at an additional hourly cost. With this, our theory part is over. Now let us go and see the demos. Let's see the demo. I have already spun up an EC2 instance with 2 EBS volume. Let me show that. So this is the EC2 instance I have spun up for the demo. It has currently has one root volume and another one secondary volume. It is of 10 GB. Now we will connect to the instance. I will connect via EC2 instance connect. Okay. As I shown in the last video, in this machine, I have mounted the secondary EBS to the data directory and I have created some file. Just cat that file now. As you see, sorry, we need a root access. So I just cat that demo file. If you see here, there is some minimal content in that file. It is showing EBS snapshot demo. I have mentioned as important information. Please do not delete. Suppose imagine you are running a production machine with some sensitive information. and now you want to keep a backup of that data. Now I will show you how you can do that. So imagine this is a production environment. We have a file called demo.txt under the data folder, which is nothing but a secondary EBS mount. So now we are going to take the backup, which means we are going to take the snapshot. So now I'm going to the snapshot. As you see here, currently I don't have any snapshots. Let's create a snapshot. Okay, I'm going to, as you know that data folder resides inside my secondary volume. So I'm going to create a snapshot for my secondary volume. Let me go. There are three volumes which are showing. I will just go and see which belong to my instance. My volume ID is BD8, so I'm going to go and create snapshot for that. I will give the description as backup of demo EBS. Now I'm going to create a snapshot. This will be the snapshot. So we can view the status of the snapshot. I think it is getting in progress. We will wait until it is getting completed. So the snapshot creation has been completed. So now we will go to the instance again and we will try to delete the sensitive information. So we are under the slash data directory. Imagine this is a production environment and we are someone with elevated privileges. Now we are going to delete something which are not supposed to be deleted. So I will just go there and removing the demo.txt file. Imagine this as some confidential file. So now we have lost the data. Now we will go and see how we can restore the data. This is possible because we already taken the snapshot. Snapshot is nothing the backup of the EBS volume. Since our demo.txt is under the secondary volume mount slash data, we have taken the snapshot of the secondary volume so that whatever the data resided under the secondary volume, that will be now available in the snapshot, which means the demo.txt file which has been deleted will be present in our snapshot. So now we will go to actions and I'm going to create a volume from snapshot. What are the necessary informations will be auto populated. This is nothing but we can select our, suppose we are taking a snapshot from a GP2 volume and now we want to create a volume with some other volume type also we can do it. And this is we have a size. I just want to go with 10 GB and we have IOPS throughput and availability zone. As I already said, EBS are AZ scoped, which means the EBS which is created in one availability zone, we can only see it in that AZ and we can access it in that AZ. Suppose you want to migrate the data from that EBS to another volume in a different availability zone, we can use this feature. Since now I am creating the volume, I can create the volume in some other availability zone also and attach to the instances that will be available in that availability zones. But currently I'm not going to do it because I will just demo you how I can restore the deleted data, or else how we can access the backup data. But if you want, we can create volume from the snapshot under any other availability zone, and there is some limitation. We can only create under a particular region. And there are ways we can also copy our snapshot to different regions also, so that we can launch instances from that region using our snapshot. I will show that at the end of the video. So now we are creating the volume in the same availability zone from which we take the snapshot. And I already said like the snapshot and volumes both can be encrypted, and we have also seen in the last video that we have encrypted our volume using the default AWS EBS, or else if we want we can create our own KMS key. I'm going with the default EBS, and I'm going to tag my tagging is nothing but kind of a filter we can use to filter our EBS. So I'm going to give a key as name and value as EBS backup. So now I'm going to create a value. So now it is showing successfully created volume. So we have successfully created our volume EBS backup. So now the volume state is available. So we can go ahead and attach this volume to our machine. I will go into our EC2 instance and I will stop the instance. Once it will be stopped, I will go and delete the currently available secondary volume. Okay, now it has been stopped. I will go to the volume section. This is the secondary volume which has been currently attached to our instance. First we need to detach our volume. So I have detached, which means the volume will not show under our storage section, which means the volume has been removed from our instance. You can see we have only one root volume. So now what I will do is I will again go to the volume section, and this is the secondary volume we have created out of our snapshot. So I will now try to attach this volume to our instance. So now I have attached. I can also delete our old secondary volume. I will go and delete it. So currently we have only one volume which has been attached as a secondary volume to our machine. So now I will go and again start the instance. Now the instance has been starting. We will wait for some time. Since the instance has been started, we will try to connect to it via instance connect. So we will try to first see the available volumes. So as you see, whatever the secondary volume we have attached, it's showing there. So we will go and view the data. See, we can see cat demo txt. So whatever the file which has been deleted has now been recovered. So now we have seen how we can take snapshot out of our volume, and then how we can restore our volume from the same snapshot. Now we will go and look at some of the other features of snapshot. Let me go into the snapshot section. So this is our snapshot. as we seen in our theory, whenever we create a snapshot, it will defaultly be in the standard tier. So if you can see the storage tier, we can see it is currently in standard tier. And if we go to the actions, we can go and archive our snapshot also. I'm not going to do it now, but there is a way we can do that. And I also mentioned about we can lock our snapshot. Now we will go and lock our snapshot. So there are two modes which we can lock our snapshot. There is one governance mode and there is one compliance mode. If you see here, the snapshot is locked for a specific period, but it can be unlocked at any time by users with appropriate permission. And the compliance mode states that the snapshot is locked for a specific period. It can be unlocked after the cooling off period expires. I will go now with governance mode. So I'll just mention lock snapshot for 1 day. So now I will go and try to delete my snapshot. So it will not get deleted because we have locked the snapshot. So this is one of the feature I want to show. With this, the demo on how to take snapshot from EBS volume and how we can restore it has been completed. In the next demo, we will see about Amazon Data Lifecycle Manager. Let's take a look at Amazon Data Lifecycle Manager. As we discussed in the theory, it helps us to automate the creation, retention, copy and deletion of snapshots. There are two policies listed out there, custom policy and default policy. Custom policy will help us to customize our selection. We can select whichever the volumes or instances we want to create the lifecycle schedule. In the default policy, it will initially take whatever the instances or volumes which doesn't have any snapshot available in the region. If you want, we can exclude using the tags. I will go with the custom policy. So as you see here, we can either choose a volume or instance. If you remember, we already have a secondary volume created out of snapshot. We will try to create the lifecycle policy for that volume. So here we need to select which one we need to target. As you remember, when I created the secondary volume out of the snapshot, I have given the name as EBS backup. So I'm selecting that secondary volume here. So whatever the schedule we are going to create, that will affect that volume. So I'm going to give the name as demo lifecycle manager, and there is already a default role associated, so I will not touch the role, and I don't want to add any tag, and I will enable the policy status. I'm going next. Okay, before we're going next, we need to add the tag. So going next. So now we are in the schedule details. So we can select the frequency as daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. I will select it as daily, and it is asking the hours. I just give it 1 hour, and it is asking the time from which the schedule started, and it is asking the count or age. I will just give count, so which will make sure there will be always one standard tier snapshot, and whatever the older snapshots are getting deleted. And we can see advanced settings. We have the option to enable tags on the snapshot created, and we can also automate the archiving from standard tier to snapshot tier. Since we have selected daily, it is not showing us the option, but if you are selecting monthly or yearly in the frequency, we can also automate the snapshot archiving, and we can also enable fast snapshot restore, and we can also do cross region copy, and also we can do cross account sharing. I'm not enabling any of this. I'm just going here, and I will just review the policy and just create the policy. So the policy has been created and it has been enabled also. So for every 1 hour, our policy will create a snapshot for our secondary volume, and we also mentioned that we need to just preserve only one volume. So whenever a new volume gets created, the old volume get deleted. If you want, you can go ahead and you can modify the schedules and you can play around it. So this is how we can create policy in lifecycle manager, and we can maintain the creation, deletion and retention of our EBS volume snapshots. With this, our demo part is completed. In the first demo, we have looked at how we can create a snapshot out of a volume and how we can restore the volume from the snapshot. In the second demo, we have looked at how we can create the policies in lifecycle manager. With this video is completed. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next video with another exciting content. Bye.